Yes, I'm Alex, and today we're going to be breaking down 3 banger grooves from the DOMi and JD Beck album Not Tight, starting with the title track. So I've written this groove out in the way that I think it's played, so it sounds to me like JD Beck is playing a side snare with the snares turned off and some sort of towel over the top, so you get that nice muted sound. So I notated the side snare just on the line just below where your normal snare drum is usually placed. And as you can see, for the most part we're playing a 16th note backbeat groove. Some areas to watch out for are firstly these little phrases where you play your left hand on the side snare just before your right hand down on the main snare. We've got a lot of ghost notes, some played on the 16th note in unison with your right hand and some that are going to sneak in between, so those are pretty tricky when you play them at the speed of the track. In my opinion, the most challenging bar that I've written out is bar 4, where you've got a lot of bass drums and snare drums going in between the hi-hat, which will be played on 32nd note placements. And then to finish off, we've got a little roll on the snare drum. Again, at tempo, this is going to be pretty speedy. So I'll play the whole groove nice and slow so you can hear how it all fits together. The next tune we're going to look at is You Don't Have to Rob Me.
You don't have to rob me, it's not really worth it. I've only got credit cards and I can just cancel it. Know that you need cash, but both of us are with that. You can do what you want, but get away from my shit.
So this groove is in 5/8 time, and for the most part, we can count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 1 snare per bar played on the 2nd 8th note, our bass drum played on beat 1 and beat 4, and an open hi-hat on 3 and 5, although you can experiment with the texture here and see what you like the sound of. There's a few little variations here. For example, in bar 4, we're just going to displace the last hi-hat and play it slightly later, and then in bar 8, we're going to finish on beat 4. As we go into the next section, it's basically the same groove, but we're adding in an extra bass drum on the 2nd 16th note. Again, I'll slow it right down and I'll just play a few bars of the first groove into a few bars of the second groove so you can hear how it all works. And the last groove we're going to look at is from Take a Chance.
You're only funky as your last cut, but ain't no use in packing what is wrapped up. They question why I'm prepping for disaster. I guess I'm still affected by the last one. No need to make excuses on behalf of. Sometimes I just do stupid shit for the reaction. To blame it all on foolishness that I would rather. But if we speaking truthfully, I'm just an asshole.
Honestly, I reckon this groove is probably the least technically demanding, but for some reason, I found it the hardest to play because there's so much variation. So let's check out a bit of the notation. So the groove's in 7/8 and we're just playing 16th notes. For the most part, the groove is played linear, although there are occasional times where you might play your bass drum and hi-hat together. The challenge here is just how much it changes. No one bar is the same. Your bass drum isn't in the same positions. Your snare drum doesn't give you a standardized backbeat. So to be honest, the way I played it was just relying on sight reading. So again, I'll slow it right down so you can hear how it all fits together. And because we start our phrase with a 16th note rest, I'll leave the metronome in this time just to give it a bit of context. Sick, mate. 3 bangers. If you want to grab the notation, there's a link in the video description. And if you got something from the videos, hit the button to join the Wednesday crew, man, and I'll catch you in the next lesson.